driving on the road right now to Dallas in order to speak at a conference. What's up to all my freelancers, creatives, and designers? This is Nathan. Welcome to another episode of Traffic Talk. As you can see, I'm in the car. I'm actually driving for a long amount of time. I'm driving to Dallas to speak at a conference. The conference I'm speaking at is WordCamp DFW, or WordCamp Dallas Fort Worth. And I'll be speaking on Agency of One. So I'm just driving there at the moment, so I got time to do Traffic Talk. So since the drive is taking multiple hours, some odd like 3 to 4 hours, and I think I may stop back at my alma mater, Baylor University. But since it's taking some time, I figure why not be some type of productive and just answer questions for Traffic Talk. So as you saw from the title card, the question is coming from someone who is new to freelancing, and they really just have a question on how they should handle telling someone who is a brand new client, their first client, and they're just wondering, pretty much they're wondering if they should tell them, hey, you're my first client. But let's just read a little bit more and find out. And by read, I say, let me try to memorize and say whatever it is I remember from reading it, because I don't want to read while driving. Should I let them know they're my first client? An opportunity to freelance recently fell in my lap, and I'm not sure what to discuss with my client. I've read the sidebar when it comes to pricing, and I don't know how much to ask for in terms of money. I don't want to underperform and vice versa. I also made a contract and invoiced for the client, and I don't want to go and back myself in a corner I cannot get out of. When you dealt with your first client, did you let them know up front they were your first client? And there may be hiccups along the way? Or did you make sure as many issues as possible were wrinkled out before looking for clients? So pretty much as mentioned by this freelancer, they're just saying, and they almost stated what I thought they would be alluding to, which is they have a client, it's their first one, and they're pretty much assuming they are going to make mistakes. They may say something or forget something, or they may come off as unprofessional just because this is their first time dealing with a client. So they really just don't know how it's going to go. So in other words, they in a sense want to let the client know that, hey, you are my first freelance client, to kind of put them on notice and maybe excuse any mistakes they may make. Now, to be honest, I think your level of honesty is very good. And the fact that you want to be honest with someone and let them know, hey, you're my first client. I just want to let you know I'll do everything that I can. I may make some mistakes, but you're my first client. So I think your intentions are good. However, let's look at this in another perspective and see how you feel. And what I mean by another perspective is, when you're starting a project, a client wants to have confidence that you can complete the work. You don't want to do anything that shows you lack the confidence to get things done, or you lack the confidence to do things perfectly, right? Now, the core of any business is literally the following. If somebody sees that you have value, so if somebody sees you have value to offer, they take money and they invest it in you because as a promise that you're going to deliver that value. That's the core of business. And people are more willing to invest that money when they see risk is lowered. Risk meaning that it's almost higher percentage of guarantee they're going to get what they paid for. So if you tell a client, oh, thank you for being my client, I appreciate it. Hey, just to let you know, you're my first client. You are already making them a bit nervous. You're making them nervous because you come off as a rookie. You come off as someone who might not be able to get the job done because it is the first time, and in a sense, you might be experimenting on them. So from a standpoint of what is a risk, in this case, it looks like you're a risky option because you're a rookie. Now, honestly, this is what I meant by shifting the perspective. Let's just take the eye off of freelancing, graphic design, or illustration, or video, whatever you are to the client. I'm not sure what area you perform in freelancing, but let's just take this at a different perspective. Let's say you are a doctor or a physician, and surgery is about to take place. And right before surgery happens, you go to your potential patient and you say, hey, just to let you know, I'm going to take care of you. We're going to have that surgery today. I've gone over this with my colleagues. I just want to let you know you're the first person I'm performing surgery on. They're not going to like that. In a sense, you're going to make them nervous because they don't want to know that the person performing surgery on them is a rookie. Now, I know surgery is life and death, so let's look at a different example. How about a lawyer? Maybe you hire a lawyer, they were a decent price, they were in your budget. You're willing to work with that lawyer in order to find out and discover, what's the best approach to take for your case, how you should go about it, so on and so forth. So you're working with a lawyer to figure those things out. And you have that, you're working with the lawyer, and they're talking, you discuss things with your lawyer, and you have your meeting. So you have the first meeting, you pay the deposit, and you're ready because you have a lawyer to defend you. So it starts, and the first thing the lawyer does is sit down and they say, hey, thank you for choosing me, calling my law firm. This is great. I reviewed your case. Everything is going to work out awesome. But just before we get started, I want to let you know, you are my first ever client that I'm representing. I've never represented a client before. I just wanted to let you know, just in case, any hiccups happen along the way, or any bad things happen, or anything I forget. Just want to let you know, you're my first client and I appreciate you. So, but I'll do everything I can to help you. Though the honesty you're saying means well, the fact that you are communicating to the client that you are a rookie is, in a sense, a bad thing, because you're not helping them feel relaxed that you can do the job. Now, just because you are a rookie, that doesn't mean you're not good. That doesn't mean you haven't practiced. That doesn't mean you can't deliver. So you might be a rookie who has their first client, but you might hit it out the park. You might do an excellent job for the client, and you actually might be the best fit for the client. However, because you stated it in that fashion, you're making them nervous. So all in all, what am I really saying here? What I'm really trying to communicate is, if I had to give a very blunt answer, I would say, should you let someone know they're your first client? No, you shouldn't. And the reason you shouldn't is it doesn't matter. Yes, you're learning. Yes, you want to grow. Yes, you might make mistakes. However, making mistakes and learning and growing is something that you're going to do as a freelancer, honestly, for the rest of your life. Not every client is the same. And as you continue to learn and grow and discover more about yourself, as well as your skill set in your business, you will continue to have different people and different clients, and you'll continue to grow. For example, the current contract I use for clients, if someone were to read it, they would think to themselves, wow, Nathan is able to think about everything. I only was able to create that because I failed a lot. I would work with a client, something bad would happen, or I would learn from the situation, and then I'd have to say, you know what? Let me add that to my contract because it's something that I didn't foresee. And that trend continued. Anytime something happened, I had to learn. My contract got more improved, more refined, more concise, more direct. and I would just change things up. It's a learning process. There's no way to escape that learning process. And honestly, as long as you are kind and professional, or speak to someone like me or a mentor or something, they can give you clues on what to expect when it comes to freelancing. But every client is different. Some clients want things and are a little more demanding. Some clients, in a sense, give you the keys to the car and they just take a step back and say, drive me to where I need to go. You never know who you're going to get, and you never know what type of client you're going to get. So sometimes it's hard to figure out or discern which one it is. Regardless, it doesn't matter if you're a rookie. It doesn't matter if it's your first client. And the reason it doesn't matter is I have seen freelancers with less experience produce better quality work than freelancers who've been, working for a long period of time. So regardless, in terms of building confidence in your customer's mind that you can do the work, don't give them any reason to think you can't do it. Don't give them any reason to suspect you can't get it done. Do everything you can to make sure that you come off as professional, you come off as an expert, and you come off as someone who can get the job done. Now, just a word of encouragement I'll say for you is literally, you might be new to freelancing, but you still have experience. You might be new to client services, but you still have experience. You might be new to freelancing, but compared to the client, you're actually an expert. It's time to start acting like one. And one thing that I did when I started freelancing early is I wanted to know what the experts did. So I honestly called people who had agencies or just asked if I could meet with them and asked them a whole bunch of questions. I wrote down 15 to 20 questions. Some people I called on the phone, some people I showed up in person. I literally said, can I talk with you for 15 minutes of your time? I'm new to freelancing. I just have some questions I want to ask about your client process. Some people said, yes, we can talk on the phone. Some people said, come to the office. No one told me no. Some people literally gave me, here's a PowerPoint slideshow of our entire process. So you have resources you can leverage, including my YouTube channel and my podcast. You have resources you can leverage by just asking. So I think you did a great job by asking your question online and listening to other people and professionals who give you advice. So good. But anything you don't know, you can ask. And that's the key to being a resourceful freelancer. You don't have to know all the answers. However, you do need to know where to go or who to contact to find those answers. The last thing I'll say is there's a website you might want to visit. It's called catchafire.org. Catchafire.org. And that website, what it has is different nonprofit companies put up their projects on the website, and they're really looking for pro bono work that's done for the common good. So you can go to that website, get a client. Now, it's not paid. In a sense, you're giving back, right? That's why I said pro bono. So you can get a client and use that service to kind of work out your client process, right? You can talk to them. They're real clients. They have real expectations. There's a real deadline they want you to meet. But they're a little bit more forgiving of the mistakes you might make. So if you're brand new to freelancing and you've never done any projects and you're trying to get experience, catchafire.org is great because you can use it and then still put the end work in your portfolio or out there in the market for people to see. So that's one resource. The next thing I'll say is if you're curious about a client process, I have a video literally called Client Process Workflow, and I will put a link to that video, but also I have a guide that details, my client process when I was working with clients, and I still work with clients, and it just details what to do. So if you're ever curious, I have those resources available. I'll put those in the link below so you can get to them. But simply put, should you tell clients they're the first one that you've ever had? No. Thank you for taking the time to check out this video. I greatly appreciate it. If you like anything I had to say, give me a thumbs up. If you are listening on the podcast, give me a review. Or if you find me online, reach out to me. I don't care how you get in contact with me. Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, on this YouTube, in the comments. It really doesn't matter. Get in touch with me. I will either answer your question directly or work your questions into this show. Well, technically, I'm at my destination at the moment. I'm driving, as I mentioned, to Dallas for a conference, and I'm actually at my alma mater, Baylor University. So I'm here. I'm just really going to meet up with somebody really quick, and then I'm back on the road to get to Dallas. So until the next one, I will catch you later. See ya.